Hello, my name is Eytan Lerner. I'm with Moving Center. I'm here with Andrea Hannen and Matty Wilkinson. And today I want to tell you a story that relates to amplifying what children are doing and using variation in order to enhance the distinction and support learning. So it's like a short story about a sweet kid that I was working with back when I was in Israel. He was, when he first came to me, diagnosed with autism, and he was 3 years old. And then this story happened a year and a half after I started working with him. At this point, he wasn't diagnosed anymore, but he still had issues and kind of catching up to do socially in the kindergarten with his family. And at this point in time, he had a lot of tantrums. Whenever something was told to him you have to do this, and he wanted to do that, a lot of tantrums. And of course, I appreciated the fact that he got to the point where he has enough agency and autonomy, which I'm always after, because I think we're after, at least I'm after the emergence of self, the development of self. So he could say no, and I don't want to, and yeah. But there were not enough distinctions in it, and a lot of tantrums in the street, everywhere. So at this particular lesson, he came and he went on the table as usual. And then the toys were on the table, the toys that he likes. And whenever I try to touch and work with him and ask him to do something a little different just than what he was doing at the same moment, he was just taking my hands off and just got away from me, like escape on the table. Then after a few repetitions like that, I just decided and told him, look, let's cross a line here at the middle of the table. I'm sitting here, the toys will be there. If you want me to work with you and touch you, you're coming over here. If you'll be here, I'm going to touch you and work with you. If you'll be there, I'm not going to work with you. You can play with your toys there. So, of course, I took a chance because he could have not do anything, and I'll have to think out of the box what to do. But at this point in time, I already knew that he's going to kind of his learning switch gonna light up, because I knew him already. So, and indeed, after a few seconds, so he was just looking back to see if I'm doing what I promised, and I wasn't doing anything. So he started sneaking into this area where he shouldn't be. And then I touched him. And then he went back and he started cracking up slowly, and just going back to his toys. And then he's doing it again. And he's trying to sneak a toy with him. No, the toys are there. I'm not going to work with you here. And I used a lot of variation around that. Almost at no time, he got where I was sitting and we started working. After this lesson, the mother told me the next day that actually the usual tantrums actually decreased almost to nothing. And from this point on, we could see a lot of changes around social behavior, emotional regulation. And it was really, really nice to have that, because, to use that to amplify what he's doing and then create limitations and variations, and at the same time appreciate and cherish his autonomy. I wanted him to know that it's okay to say no. It's okay to know what you want. It's actually what we're after.
One way I see it is that you created a variation on the normal or habitual dynamic of who's in charge, what the social demand is on him. So instead of it being people wanting him to connect with them and him feeling pulled into that, you put it in his lap, like you decide if you're going to come over here and connect with me. And that variation of turning that dynamic around, I imagine that amplified for him his sense of what he actually wants, and whether he wants to be connected and to be in interaction. It's a fabulous way of using variation in a more kind of global way about the relationship, which I think is great.
Thanks.
Yeah, very, very well said, Matty. So for me, it's like the little guy. In addition to that, what I can say now is like he maybe didn't have a concept of no. His concept of no was body was telling no in a very violent way, and using the tantrum to say no and to put his borders, to set his borders out. So that's for the first time, he may have just get to know the gentle way of saying no by just choosing a different way of interacting. And that is just amazing how he now has a way to say no in a safe way, and decide it's not only saying no, but decide yes or no, decide what he wants, like kind of having the choice at overall. And to empower him having the choice is something, that will for sure make a big change.
Now I remember that after this lesson, I think the next time that we met, a few times, he stopped pushing me or doing no. He was actually insulted, like a sweet baby, and he had such a sweet face. So he was going to. So he was doing what but keep on playing, doing this, and then at one point I started seeing him want to get off the table, and he started doing that. Insulted, quietly getting off the table and going to the corner. And then now remember that I actually started working with that. After noticing what he's doing for few repetitions, I actually started telling him, oh, I see that you're actually starting to I see your face is moving and your mouth is going. You feel that? Are you insulted? Do you feel that you're hurt? I think maybe it's a good time to get off the table. Before he really got into it, before he was like fully blown insulted. Mm-hmm. And that was hilarious, because after a while I started adding, so now you go to the corner, but now you're going to do this there. And when you come here, I know that you want to work with me again. And then in no time again, I think in one session or two, we had no issue at all. He was much more subtler with himself. And you could feel that there are more distinctions, differentiation, and he can control and inhibit some of the things. Thanks for your input, guys.
Yeah, it's a fabulous story. We are working together, the three of us, and we are offering a workshop for families of children who want to learn how to apply the principles and the approach that we use at home with your child, in your relationship with your child. So we'll be offering that, and we hope you can join us. And we think you'll get a lot of benefit from learning to take these ideas and bring them into your own environment with your own child. It's a very powerful approach. So thank you.